Hello, Namaste, one and all. Today we are going to discuss about the conformational isomerism. Actually, in this conformational isomerism, we are discussing about what is dihedral angles and what are the different forms of conformational isomers. Okay? So, now before going to discuss about those topics, what is conformational isomers? Remember, conformational isomers are belongs to stereoisomers. Conformational isomers are belongs to stereoisomers. These isomers are belongs to stereoisomers. Stereo also called space isomers. Also called space isomers. Why we are saying that space isomers are stereoisomers in the sense the isomers which are due to different spatial arrangement of groups. Isomers which are arising due to different spatial arrangement of groups. Okay, here these conformational isomers are due to these conformational isomers are due to free rotation about CC single bond. Free rotation about CC single bond. Why we are saying that is a free rotation? Why we are saying that is a free rotation? Because here if you are observing that for example carbon single bond, on this carbon 3 groups are there and on this carbon 3 groups are there. This carbon some 3 EF groups are there. So by applying just 10 to 20 kilojoule per mole, just by applying 10 to 20 kilojoule per mole, so amount of energy is just rotational energy is 10 to 20 kilojoule per mole. A, B, C. But here this F goes up, E is same position, E is same position. Means the bond energy barrier is just, which one? Bond energy barrier is just 10 to 20 kilojoule. 10 to 20 kilojoule is only absorbed for the rotation of single bond. So now, if you have observed double bond energy, for example here A and B, here C and D groups are there. So to rotate, to interconvert double bonds, we have to apply more than 260 kilojoule per mole. More than 260 kilojoule per mole. So AB here only, but D comes to here, D comes to here, C. So double bond rotation is called restricted rotation. The isomers which are formed due to restricted rotation is called geometrical isomers. Those are different. Okay, that's what CC bond energy, CC rotational energy is just 10 to 20 kilojoule per mole. Whereas CC double bond energy is 260 to 300 kilojoule per mole. That's what CC double bond energy is also called restricted bond energy. So that's what we hear. The isomers which are formed due to restricted rotation is called geometrical isomerism. The isomers which are formed due to free rotation is called conformational isomers. Conformational isomers. Okay. So next one, all of you remember that. Next one, what are the ways to represent these conformational isomers? Conformational isomers can be represented by Neumann's projection formula, also can be represented by using Saha's model. Generally, we are showing by Neumann's model. Generally, these are showing by Neumann's model. So, if you are observing how to present a Neumann's model, so Neumann's projection formula, Neumann's representation or Neumann's projection formula, how to represent the isomers in Neumann's projection formula. In this model, one carbon shown by, in this model, one carbon shown by dot and other carbon Other carbon can be shown by circle. Can be shown by circle. Other carbon can be shown by circle. So we all know that carbon valence is 4. Carbon valence is 4. That's what each carbon bond into 4 groups with the 4 bonds. So remember that the bond in between carbon dot, that means dot carbon and circle carbon, not observed, not shown. Whereas other 3 groups only shown in the Neyman's model. Means only 3 groups are shown on dot carbon as well as 3 groups are shown on circle carbon. But there is an inner bond in between dot carbon and circle carbon. Remember. For example, if you are observing the butane, for example, take butane, its molecule formed by CH3, CH2 and CH2, CH2. Let us say it is dot carbon, this one circle carbon. Okay, here the bond is present and 2 hydrogens and 1 methyl group is present on dot carbon as well as 2 hydrogen and 1 methyl group present on circle carbon. So now dot carbon, 1 methyl group and 2 hydrogen, whereas similarly on circle carbon 2 hydrogen, 1 methyl group. So here methyl group, here hydrogen, here hydrogen. Let us rotate the circle carbon with rotates about 60 degree. Rotates about 60 degree. So by rotating about 60 degree, so dot carbon and its groups are fixed, but circle carbon on this one methyl group which maintain 60 degree with this methyl group. 60 degree with this methyl group. Again rotation about 60 degrees. Again rotation about 60 degrees. So methyl group comes to here. So dot carbon and its groups are fixed position. Methyl, hydrogen, whereas on circle carbon the methyl group comes to the hydrogen, again here hydrogen. Next one, again rotation about 60 degree. Those methyl groups they move far away each other. In those the methyl groups which move far away each other. So hydrogen, this one hydrogen, this one also hydrogen. So here the dihedral angle in the sense of dihedral angle. So all of you remember that one? Angle between 2 same or similar groups. 2 same or similar groups. Angle between 2 same or similar groups on different carbons. Is taken as dihedral angle. Is the dihedral angle. Remember that one? Angle between 2 same or similar groups on different carbons is taken as dihedral angle. For example, one observe here on dot carbon methyl group is there, on circle carbon also methyl group is there. If you are observing this one on dot carbon methyl group is there, on circle carbon also methyl group is there, the angle between these 2 methyl groups on different carbons are 0. Theta is equals to 0. So this form is called fully eclipsed form. This form is called fully eclipsed form. Next one, the dihedral angle in between methyl groups on different carbons is 60 degree. If the dihedral angle is 60 degree, theta is equals to 60. Then it is called Rache form. Next one, the dihedral angle is in between 2 methyl groups is 180 degrees. Then theta is equals to 180. Then it is called partially eclipsed form. Also called skew form. Next one, bond angle. Dihedral angle between 2 methyl groups is 180 degrees. If theta then it is called antiform or transform or anti-staggered form. Antiform or transform, also called anti-staggered form. Anti-staggered form. Anti-staggered form. Okay, if we are observing that the repulsion between these methyl groups is maximum in fully eclipsed form. Anti-staggered form. The repulsion between two methyl groups means the dihedral angle is 0 degrees. The repulsion become maximum. The repulsion between two methyl groups are maximum in the fully eclipsed form. That's what it is. Highly unstable. Highly unstable. Highly unstable. This one is highly unstable. Whereas coming to the angle between two methyl groups are 180 degrees and they maintain more least repulsion, maintain more stability, more stable, and least energy form. Least energy form. More stable and least energy form. So that's what you have to be keep in mind that.